Hello everyone, today we are going to learn haloalkanes and haloarine. This is the first organic chemistry chapter in class 12 CBSE syllabus. It is also there in JEE and NEET syllabus. So without wasting time, let's start with our topic haloalkanes and haloarine. So first of all, we will take haloalkanes and we will learn the classification of haloalkanes. So classification. Now, haloalkanes can be classified on the basis of number of halogen atom present in a molecule. If there is one halogen atom, we call it monohalides. If there is two halogen atoms, we call it dihalides. If there are more than two halogen, we call it polyhalides. Okay. Now in monohalides, for example, the simple monohalide CH3Cl. What is the IUPAC name of this compound? Chloromethane. The second one, CH3CH2Br. What is the IUPAC name? It is bromoethane. Since it contains two carbon, we call it ethane, bromoethane. This one, what is the IUPAC name of this compound? Here it is 1, 2, 3. So we call it 2-bromopropane. Okay. So these are monohalides where there is only one halogen. Now come to dihalides where there are two halogen. For example, CH2 single bond CH2 single bond Cl single bond Cl. Now whenever the two halogen are side by side or on the adjacent carbon atom, we call it vicinal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides. The common name of this compound is ethylene dichloride. The IUPAC name is 1, 2. This is 1, this is 2. So 1, 2 dichloroethane. 1, 2 dichloroethane. Now if the halogen is on the same carbon, then we call it geminal dihalides. The common name is ethylidene dichloride. And the IUPAC name is 1, 2. So it is 1, 1 dichloroethane. 1, 1 dichloroethane. Next, move on to polyhalides. In our syllabus, we are having polyhalides of the type CHX3, which is called haloform. For example, CHCl3, chloroform. For example, CHI3, iodoform. Okay. Next, we will move on to the classification based on the hybridization of the alpha carbon atom. Based on the hybridization of alpha carbon atom. So come the first classification, the first one, where the halogen is attached with sp3 carbon atom. The halogen is attached with sp3 carbon atom. For example, this one CH3 single bond CH2 single bond Cl. This carbon is sp3. Now this one CH3 single bond CH3 Cl. This carbon is sp3. This one CH3C, CH3, single bond Cl, and this carbon is again sp3. Now the carbon which the halogen is attached with is called the alpha carbon, and the next carbon is called the beta carbon. Here the halogen is attached with this carbon, so it is called alpha carbon. The next one is beta carbon, this one is beta carbon. Here the middle carbon is the alpha carbon, the next one beta, next to alpha is beta, next to alpha is beta. So the rule is the halogen attached with the carbon is called alpha carbon, the next carbon is beta carbon, the next one is gamma, and the next one is delta. Like this it goes on. Now in the first compound we are having only one beta carbon, so we call it 1 degree or primary. The second one contains 2 beta carbons, so we call it 2 degree or secondary. The third one contains 3 beta carbons, so we call it 3 degree or tertiary. Okay, next move on to the second classification. The second classification, where the halogen is attached to sp3 carbon atom next to double bond. Halogen is attached with sp3 carbon atom next to double bond. Next to double bond. Now here we are having the first type is allylic halides. The second one is benzylic halides. Now allylic halides, CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2 Br, this is allylic halides. Here the carbon atom is sp3 hybridized, the alpha carbon. Benzylic CH2Br. Here this carbon is again sp3 hybridized. The alpha carbon is sp3 hybridized. Here all this compound we call it alkyl halides, and this one allylic halides, benzylic halide. Now the allylic halide can be 2 degree, 3 degree. The benzylic halide can also be 2 degree or 3 degree. Next we will move on to the third classification. The third classification, where the halogen is attached with sp2 carbon atom. The halogen is attached with sp2 carbon atom. Here again we are having two types. One is vinylic halide, another is aryl halide, which are also called haloarenes. So vinylic halide, CH2 double bond CH single bond Cl, this carbon is sp2. Aryl halides, Cl, here all the carbon atom of benzene ring is sp2 hybridized. So these are the classification of haloalkanes. Next we will move on to preparation of haloalkanes, then physical properties, and then chemical properties. Now come to preparation of haloalkane. Preparation of haloalkanes. Now the first preparation is from alkane. This preparation we have learned in class 10, that is direct halogenation. Direct halogenation. So what actually happened here? We know when methane is treated with chlorine in presence of sunlight or HNu, it is converted into CH3Cl. This CH3Cl further react with chlorine in presence of HNu to form CH2Cl2. It further react to form CHCl3. It further react in presence of sunlight to form CCl4. So the reaction goes on and on. Here the reaction passes through free radical pathway. Here the reaction passes through free radical chain mechanism. So here we are going to learn the mechanism also. See, the first step. In the first step, the chlorine-chlorine single bond is broken by HNu. So there is homolytic cleavage of the chlorine-chlorine single bond. So it produces Cl dot plus Cl dot. The second step, this Cl dot react with CH4 to form CH3Cl. To form CH3 dot plus HCl. In the third step, this CH3 dot react with Cl2 to form CH3Cl plus Cl dot. The fourth step, CH3 dot react with Cl dot to form CH3Cl. The fifth step, Cl dot combine with Cl dot to form Cl single bond Cl. And the last step, the fifth step, this CH3 dot can combine with CH3 dot to form CH3CH3. So this is a side product of this reaction. Now here you can see in the first step the free radical is generated. So this reaction is called initiation, chain initiation. So this step is called chain initiation. The second and the third step, here free radical is not consumed completely. One radical is consumed and one radical is formed in the product. So this step is called propagation step. The reaction propagate. The reaction continue with the formation of new free radical. One free radical is consumed but another free radical is formed. In fourth, fifth and in the sixth step, you can see the free radical is being consumed, and so these three steps are called termination step. Here the free radical is completely consumed. Okay, next we will see the reactivity of different halogen towards alkane and also the selectivity of the halogen for monohalogenation reaction. So for monohalogenation, suppose you are having propane CH3 CH2 CH3. This propane is reacted with chlorine in presence of HNu. Here we get two products. One is CH3CH single bond CH3Cl. Another is CH3 CH2 CH2Cl. So you can see This one is a 2 degree halide and this one is a 1 degree halide. Alpha carbon, beta carbon, gamma carbon. Here it is alpha, beta, beta. So we are having 2 beta, so 2 degree. Now the percentage of these two product is, this one is approximately 55% and this one is 45%. Now the same reaction with bromine, CH3, CH2, CH3. It reacts with bromine Br2 in presence of H nu to form CH3CH CH3 Br plus CH3 CH2 CH2 Br. Here the formation of 2 degree product is the major product, almost 95% or more. It is the major product, 95%, even more than 95%. It is less than 5%. Now why it is so? For chlorination it is 55% and 45%, but for bromination it is 95% and 5%. Now this can be understood from the reactivity and selectivity of halogen. So if you consider the reactivity of halogen, what is the reactivity order? Fluorine is very much reactive, much reactive than chlorine, which is much reactive than bromine, which is much reactive than iodine. Okay, so here chlorine is more reactive than bromine. So remember one thing, note, higher the reactivity, lower is the selectivity. Higher the reactivity, lower is the selectivity. Higher the reactivity, lower is the selectivity. Now in this reaction you can see two product is formed, two positional isomer is formed. Now one positional isomer is formed as a major product, 2-bromopropane is formed as a major product and 1-bromopropane is formed as a minor product. So whenever in a reaction, if two positional isomer are possible and if one is formed at as a major product, then we say the reaction is regioselective. The reaction is regioselective. Now the regioselectivity for bromine is much more than that of chlorine, as you can see from the observed data or experimental data. Now it has been observed for chlorine and bromine, the selectivity for chlorine and for bromine. What is the order of selectivity? So for 1 degree product, for 2 degree product, for 3 degree product. For chlorination, the selectivity order is 1:3.8:5. Whereas for bromination, it is 1:84:1600. 1:84:1600. So for chlorination, you can see the selectivity for the formation of 2 degree and 3 degree is not that high. That means chlorine is so much reactive, it is immaterial for chlorine to react with the first carbon or second carbon or third carbon. It doesn't matter. But for bromine, the first carbon, if it react, it will form 1 degree product. Second carbon, if it is reacting, it will form 2 degree product. And the formation of 2 degree product, it is highly selective, that is 84 selectivity. So from this ratio, we can calculate the percentage of product. For example, see, in this compound, if the chlorine is coming at this carbon, you will get 1-chloropropane, that is 1 degree product. If it is coming at this carbon, then also it is forming 1 degree product, 1-chloropropane. So we are having how many hydrogen here? How many substitutable hydrogen? 3 plus 3, 6. So we are having 6 1 degree hydrogen. So 6 into 1, we will write 6. Now to form the 2 degree product, it has to combine at this carbon. So it has to replace the hydrogen. So how many hydrogen are there? Only 2 hydrogen. So we will write 2 into the selectivity, that is 3.8. That comes out to be 7.6. Now if you sum up, you will get 13.6. So what is the percentage of 1 degree product? Percentage of 1 degree is equal to 6 divided by 13.6 into 100. It will comes out to be at 45%. The percentage of 2 degree product, the percentage of 2 degree product is equal to 7.6 divided by 13.6 into 100. So you will find it that it will comes around 55%. So in board exam or in the JEE or NEET exam, we have to carefully write down the final product. For chlorination, the selectivity is less. For bromination, the selectivity is very high. For example, you may come across this problem in JEE mains. So this compound is treated with bromine in presence of HNu. What will be the major product? The major product will be, if the bromine comes at this position, this position, this position, this position, all this position, it will produce 2 degree product. If the bromine comes at this position, it will produce 3 degree. And the selectivity for 3 degree is 1600. So almost 99% product will be this. So this is your major product. Okay. Next we will move on to fluorination and iodination. Now for fluorination, the carbon-fluorine bond dissociation enthalpy is much greater than the carbon-carbon single bond dissociation enthalpy. So what does it mean? It means due to small size of fluorine, the atom and high electronegativity of fluorine atom, fluorine forms strong bond with carbon. The energy release is so huge that it breaks carbon-carbon single bond. The energy release is so huge that it breaks carbon-carbon single bond. So we don't do fluorination in laboratory. Because if you do fluorination of say propane, it might happen you will get fluoromethane or fluoroethane because the carbon-carbon single bond will break. Now move on to iodination. Now what is iodination here? The same reaction, CH4 react with iodine to form CH3I plus HI. Now this HI is a strong reducing agent. Okay. So this strong reducing agent, it will reduce the iodomethane back to methane. So what we do, we carry out the reaction in presence of a strong oxidizing agent like HNO3 or HiO3. This strong oxidizing agent, they oxidizes Hi to iodine. They oxidizes Hi to iodine, and thus it moves the reaction in the forward direction. Since the product is being removed and the reactant has been added, because Hi is oxidized to I2 by HiO3 or HNO3. Next we will move on to the second preparation. The second preparation is from alkene. Okay, so how it is prepared? Addition of HX, that is halogen acid. So if you are adding HX to CH2 double bond CH2 plus HCl, you will get CH3 single bond CH2 Cl. This alkene is symmetrical. Okay. Now if you are having unsymmetrical alkene like this, that is propene, and if you add HCl or HBr, you will get CH3 CH single bond CH3 Br, this as the major product, plus CH3 CH2 CH2 Br as the minor product. Now why it happened? We have learned in class 11 Markovnikov rule. And what was that rule? Markovnikov rule. The rule states that during addition across unsymmetrical double bond, during addition across unsymmetrical double bond, the negative part of the reagent add to the carbon atom having least number of hydrogen, atom. So here we can see the double bonded carbon, this one and this one. Now this carbon is having the least number of hydrogen, so Br minus will add to this carbon. Br is the negatively charged and H is the positively charged species. So the negative species will go to this carbon. So this is Markovnikov rule. Now this Markovnikov rule is basically the result of carbocation stability. The rule is the result of carbocation stability. The rule is the result of carbocation stability. Next we will move on to the mechanism of this reaction, and we will see how the carbocation stability determine the major and minor product. Mechanism. Now you are having CH3 single bond CH double bond CH2. This HBr, HCl, Hi, they are acid, so they produces H plus ion. So the first step of the mechanism is addition of H plus ion to the double bond. The pi electron cloud of the double bond will attack the H plus ion and it will form CH3, CH, CH3. If the H plus goes to the terminal carbon, the positive charge will come at the central carbon or the middle carbon. If H plus goes to the middle carbon, the positive charge will come to the terminal carbon. Now this one is 2 degree and this one is 1 degree carbocation. 2 degree, 1 degree. We know 2 degree carbocation is more stable. More stable. So this 2 degree carbocation will form as a major product and the final product is derived from this 2 degree carbocation. CH3, CH, single bond CH3. This will react with Br minus and it will produce the 2 degree halide as the major product. So what we can write? We can write higher the stability of the carbocation intermediate. Write it down. Higher the stability of carbocation intermediate higher is the contribution of the corresponding product. Okay, higher the stability of carbocation intermediate, higher is the contribution of corresponding product. So what does it mean? The 2 degree carbocation is more stable, so the corresponding 2 degree halide is the major product. Next, we will see 2-3 examples. Suppose you are having this compound CH3 single bond CH double bond C single bond CH3 single bond CH3. So if you add HI, what will be the final product? So from Markovnikov rule, you can say the I minus will come to this carbon and the final product is CH3 CH2 C single bond CH3 CH3 I. So this is quite easy using Markovnikov rule, but sometimes we need the mechanism to give the final answer. For example, in your JEE level or NEET level, you will get a question like this. CH3 single bond CH single bond CH3 single bond CH double bond CH2. This is reacted with HBr. What will be the final product or the major product? The major product is CH3 single bond CH2 CH3 Br. So initially from Markovnikov rule, we will think that the bromine will come at this carbon atom because bromine is negatively charged, hydrogen is positively charged. So according to Markovnikov rule, the Br minus will come to this carbon, but here something else is happening. So this is called rearrangement of carbocation. This is called rearrangement of carbocation. So whenever in a reaction a carbocation is formed, remember one thing, the carbocation may undergo rearrangement to form a more stable carbocation. What I say? In a reaction, if a carbocation is formed, that carbocation has a tendency to undergo rearrangement to form a more stable carbocation. So we call it rearrangement of carbocation. So here also CH3 single bond CH single bond CH double bond CH2. The first step is the protonation step. Now the H plus ion will come to this carbon or this carbon. Definitely it will come to this carbon to produce 2 degree carbocation. CH3 CH single bond CH3. CH, CH3 plus. If the H plus comes to this carbon, the cation will be formed on the terminal, that is 1 degree. But 2 degree is more stable, so we will write the 2 degree one. So we are getting the 2 degree carbocation. Now this 2 degree carbocation can undergo rearrangement. How? The hydrogen here on this carbon atom can move to this carbon. So we call it 1,2 hydride shift. 1,2 hydride shift. Now the question is, why the hydride shift takes place? The hydride shift takes place only to have more stable carbocation, otherwise it will not happen. So 3 degree, we are getting a 3 degree carbocation from a 2 degree carbocation, and that's why the hydride shift takes place. Now with this 3 degree, we will get the final product. The Br minus will attack this carbocation. So we'll get the final product as CH, CH2, CH3, Br. So here we need to know the mechanism of the reaction. With Markovnikov rule, we can't predict the product. Now in the next example, we will see ring expansion. Ring expansion. Now suppose you are having this compound CH double bond CH2 and you have added HI. So what we expect? The expected product is this CH single bond CH3 iodine. But the actual product is something else. See the mechanism. The first step, H plus addition. So it will produce CH single bond CH3, a carbocation. Now this carbocation will undergo rearrangement. This bond will shift, this entire bond. Now again the question arises, why the bond will shift? And it will produce a carbocation at this position. Now this carbocation is 2 degree. This carbocation is also 2 degree. Now why the bond will shift? Because here the bond angle is all 90 degree. But all the carbon atom here is sp3. All the carbon of this cyclobutane is sp3. So the bond angle should be 109 degree 28 minute. But the actual bond angle is 90 degree. That means the molecule is under huge strain. Now to relieve the strain, the bond will migrate. The bond will shift and it will form a cyclopentane ring where the bond angle is 105 degree, quite close to 109 degree. So in ring expansion, the ring strain is relieved. The ring strain is relieved. So this will give the final product. I minus will combine at this center. You may get other product also. Why? Because there is one hydrogen here. So this hydrogen can also shift. That is, so one product is like this. You are getting iodine here. 1,2 hydride shift. And finally, you will get a carbocation like this at this position, and so I minus will attack, and the final product is this one. So this is the major product. Why this carbocation form? Because this is 3 degree. So on moving from 2 degree to 3 degree, it gains stability. On moving from cyclobutane to cyclopentane, it gains stability because the strain is relieved. Here, the 3 degree carbocation being more stable, it is formed. And so the major product is from the 3 degree carbocation. So we need to know the mechanism to answer problem in JEE mains and NEET exam. Okay, let's move to the next part, that is peroxide effect. Now what is peroxide effect, often called as Kharas effect? Or the anti-Markovnikov rule. So what we know, CH3 single bond CH double bond CH2, if it is treated with HBr, it produces CH3 CH CH3 Br as the major product. Just now we have seen the mechanism. Here the mechanism passes through carbocation. Okay. Now, if the reaction is carried out in presence of peroxide, HBr peroxide, then we get CH3 CH2 CH2 Br as the major product. Now the major product is different, so definitely the mechanism is not same, the mechanism is also different. So we have to learn the mechanism in presence of peroxide also. So write down mechanism. Now in peroxide, mostly we take organic peroxide like benzoyl peroxide. So the first step is pH C double bond O, single bond O, O, C double bond O, pH. This is benzoyl peroxide. In presence of H nu, it breaks to form pH C double bond O, single bond O dot. There is again homolytic bond cleavage. Homolytic bond cleavage. In the second step, this pH C double bond O, single bond O dot, this breaks. These are all fishhook arrow. It means only one electron is changing position. So it gives pH dot plus CO2. Now the third step, this pH dot react with HBr to form PHH, that is benzene, plus Br dot. The fourth step, CH3 CH double bond CH2 react with Br dot to form two product, CH3 CH dot CH2Br plus CH3 CH single bond CH2 dot. Now this one is 2 degree radical and this one is 1 degree. Again, just like carbocation, this free radical are also electron deficient, and we know 3 degree radical is more stable than 2 degree, which is more stable than 1 degree. So this 2 degree radical is more stable. So the final product gives the product from 2 degree radical. Last step is CH3 CH CH3 CH2 Br. This free radical react with HBr to form CH3 CH2 CH2 Br plus Br dot. The reaction goes on. In all free radical reaction, it goes on and on as long as the free radical is formed during the reaction. So this is the mechanism for free radical reaction or free radical addition of HBr. Now this peroxide effect is observed only for HBr and not for HCl or HI. So you should write a note here. Note, peroxide effect is observed for only HBr. Okay, underline it, not for HCl or HI. Why it is not for HCl or HI? Just think of this fourth and fifth step. This fourth step and the fifth step. So, suppose for the fourth step, the enthalpy of the reaction is delta H1, and for the fifth step is the enthalpy is delta H2 for the fourth step and for the fifth step. Now this enthalpy for Br, both the enthalpy is negative, that is both the reaction is exothermic. But for chlorine, the first one is exothermic, the second one is endothermic. But for iodine, the first one is endothermic, second one is exothermic. Since it is exothermic for bromine, since it is exothermic for both the step, bromine shows peroxide effect. Chlorine and iodine does not show peroxide effect. HBr shows peroxide effect, HCl, HI, it does not show peroxide effect. I hope you all have understood the concept which I taught today. All the concept is crystal clear to you, and with this I would like to end up today's video, because otherwise it will become too long, and the rest of the part we will discuss in the next video. So see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.